All right, everybody, today we're going to talk about solving rational equations. Remember, equations are going to have equal in them, and rational expressions are going to have fractions with letters, okay, kind of layman's terms. Now, I'm going to do very basic, okay, just the nuts and bolts of it. So let's first do a problem where a rational expression equals a rational expression. So what would we need to do here to solve? Well, if fraction equals fraction, can't we cross multiply? Sure. So that's what you want to try to do. So when we do that, right, we're going to have a times a plus 1 equals 2 times 1. All right, so let's do that. We would have a plus 1 equals 2. So we would distribute. We get a squared plus a equals 2. Set this equal to 0. And factor. Okay. So a and a. How about 2 and 1? By trial and error, I know my larger number needs to be the plus. This needs to be minus. So my two solutions are 1 and negative 2, right? What minus 1 would be 0? What plus 2 would be 0? These are my two solutions. And you should check to make sure that your solutions are legitimate. In other words, you can't let 0 be in the denominator. So if you had solved and found a was 0, you'd say, that one can't work. But we found solutions that are okay. All right, so again, what did we do? Fraction equals fraction. We cross multiplied. We set equal to 0. We factored and got our solution. All right, so I want you, before we proceed, I want you to look at your lesson, okay? So let's go ahead and try, let's try number 4. Number 4 on page 596. This is going to be your try this problem, okay? Because you're going to be doing some odd ones, but I want you to try number 4. So, if you haven't finished off the tape, if you are, you cross multiplied, so a squared minus a equals 6. I put it in standard form by subtracting the 6. I factored and got my two solutions. So you'll be doing this on 1, 2, and 3, okay? So notice, like on number 2, let me go ahead and do that one for you and show you how that one would work. So number 2, we have 5 over y minus 2 equals y plus 2. So obviously I'd want to put that over 1 so that I could cross multiply. So you see right here, I would be multiplying two binomials. So I went ahead, I'll go ahead and do that. I would get now the reason I would get that, remember if I do FOIL, my middle terms would cancel. So I know the shortcut here, it's y squared minus 4. So now I could just add the 4 and y is plus or minus 3 if I took square root of both sides, correct? So you'll be doing that with 1, all right, 3, and well, you're going to do 5, so that's cool. Let me go ahead and show you number 6. We're not going to do ones like 12, 13, 14, but these basic ones we will. So I'm going to show you number 6. All right, so when we're given a problem like this, we can't cross multiply because we have a squared, we have a, and we have a 1 for a denominator. So make sure everything's a fraction. Okay? But what we can do is clear that fraction. So if we can't multiply, we've got to clear the fraction. And the way we'll do that, everybody, is multiplying through by the least common multiple. So the least common multiple of these denominators would be a squared, right? A squared goes into a squared, a goes into a squared, and 1 does. All right, so when we do that, we're multiplying everything through by a squared. All right? So the a squared would cancel, leave me with 4. The a would go into a squared, giving me an a that I multiply by the minus 2, so I'd get minus 2a equals 2 times a squared. Okay? Now I want to set this equal to 0, and I want my leading coefficient to be plus, so I'm actually going to move these guys over to this side. I can do that. So 0 equals 2a squared plus 2a minus 4. I've moved this over and moved that over. And maybe you like it set equal to 0, so I'll just switch that around. That's fine. Now, I can factor this, but I should take out a 2, shouldn't I? To make it smaller. Oh, yes. Yes, yes. Ooh. Okay. And 0 divided by 2, this divided by 2, the 2 would go away, right? So I can do that. All right, so I'm still going to factor now this by trial and error. And if you couldn't do trial and error, you could do the quadratic formula, but boy, that would take a while. All right, so here our solutions are 1 and negative 2. All right, so your assignment is in RenWeb. Let's see, have we done the practice? Let me go ahead and get you to do practice A. Try this A on page 595 before we proceed. So just do try this A. All right, so I cleared the fraction by multiplying through by x. I made sure these were fractions by putting them over 1. All right, so x times x, x squared. X times 3, 3x. And x times 10 over x gives me just 10. Then I move the 10 over, setting this equal to 0. Then I factored. And then I got my 2 solutions. All right, now go to RenWeb and get this assignment taken care of. Give me a call, FaceTime if you need help, and we'll see you tomorrow for the last lesson of Algebra 1.